window every morning.
All right.
You're the Grand Marshal in the Apple Blossom.
Get out of here!
Yeah, either get her out of here or set fire to the set. Gee, I think Katie was Grand Marshal Parade one year, too. Thanks, her. How'd you like some crabs, Katie? The Fort Lauderdale Seafood Festival this weekend on the south bank of the New River. Fabulous, good food, and these are wonderful. Here's a clause in Al's contract, says he gets to do the whole weather tomorrow. Check it out. And the beautiful 50th anniversary of the Miami Jewish Home for the Aged, their hospital down there, 50 years, God bless. Good work, good people. Happy birthday from Smuckers, how sweet. Faye Kaufman, here's pretty Faye from Gates, Tennessee's 102, and her secret for longevity is faith in God and bacon and eggs. Henry Davis, Shelburne, Georgia's 105, handsome man, beautiful man, and Virgie Julian of Scheidler, Oklahoma's 104, likes to shop, likes flowers, and likes to eat. On a very serious note, just to say one thing that I learned yesterday, one of our wonderful friends, Jimmy Gaines, director at NBC for many, many years, retired, wonderful friend of mine, passed away. We love Jimmy so much, and our love to his family. Talked to Kimmy yesterday, so I know you'll all share in that. Katie?
Oh, Willard, thanks so very much. We're sorry to hear that. In a moment, we'll be talking with Susan Sarandon. That's right after these messages.
Don't make things like they used to. Whatever happened to quality?
In my day, we cared about craftsmanship.
How about service?
Dave Lennox founded his heating and cooling company and what was important to customers.
Those things will never go out of style. Trust me.
And the Lennox quality dealer standards make sure you'll get those things from Lennox dealers today.
Of course, you know what I really miss? Those little licorice drops you used to sell.
Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
You could never shave again. You could go into work tomorrow and tell them you're taking a year off. When people ask for your honest opinion, you could give it to them. But while you're considering these options, driving a Saab is a very good start. Lease a 96 Saab 900S 5-door for only $299 a month.
We've been talking about this transfer for 6 months.
Yeah, now they want me yesterday.
So where do we find someone who knows how to get this house sold fast?
Talk to a professional who'll work with you. Call a Prudential real estate agent today.
Now at Red Lobster, it's Lobster Days.
Rocktail sizzle, maintail steam.
Indulge in 6 luscious lobster dishes like 3 lobster tastes on 1 plate. Better hurry.
It's Red Lobster's Lobster Days.
Wake up. Remember, we decided to start our morning walk today?
Can't wait.
Wake up to naturally decaffeinated Folgers with the richness of mountain-grown beans and all the aroma and taste of regular Folgers. In fact, if you didn't know Folgers decaffeinated was decaffeinated.
You know, with all these changes, I'm glad we didn't switch to decaffeinated. Nothing wakes me up like this.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Even decaffeinated.
I just needed to wake up.
I know, honey.
Hey, honey, I see you looking at me. Do you think this new coat of paint is me? Steel tanks, bakeware, and huge wicker baskets. Pretty please, you'll be the first place. I'll always try, 'cause Power Gear now has a softer side. Come see the softer side of Sears.
Dateline Sunday. Millions love it, cooked or raw, but look out. Could the shellfish you eat be tainted, even deadly? A revealing undercover investigation. Dateline Sunday on NBC.
James and the Giant Peach has been a favorite children's book for several generations of young readers, and now this magical tale has been made into a feature film with this year's Academy Award-winning actress Susan Sarandon as the voice of the animated character Miss Spider. Susan, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, before we talk about James and the Giant Peach, let me ask you about the Oscar. You were the odds-on favorite. I mean, everyone was saying this has got to be Susan's year.
I think they were so sick of me coming and never getting it. They just wanted to get me out of there.
But when they read your name, and it really did happen, was it still a thrill for you?
It was still a shock because with the Academy Awards, it's such a huge group of people. There's never a way to predict really what's going to happen. And I knew I was a sentimental favorite, and I thought I did a good job, but you still don't know really what's going to happen. And I was moved to win, but I was very moved that everybody stood up. I mean, I still can't talk about it, really. the feeling in the room was so positive, you know, and that meant more to me even than the award, really.
It was really a great night on a lot of
I was
fronts.
this close to saying something incredibly embarrassing.
Really?
No, I mean, I was so overwhelmed. I still haven't seen a tape of it, so I don't know actually what I did say, but
well, I couldn't stay up and watch you win the award, unfortunately, but I read a transcript of what you said, and it was really, really sweet because you talked to your husband, your
whomever,
what do you call
hockey
him?
guy that I live with, yeah.
Because you're not married, but to Tim Robbins, who you've lived together
quite enough to have thousands of children and
right.
make a movie.
But you really talked about how this was his Oscar as much as yours, since he directed the film.
And it was worth waiting for this one because it was such a family project, and all of our friends and everyone worked for nothing, and so I was so invested, having found the book and kind of asked him to do it, that it was worth waiting for. It meant more to me for this one than it would have on any of the other ones.
So that makes it really, really nice.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
I know you've also said, though, that it was difficult working with Tim, and because of your relationship. Do you think you'll ever work together again?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd like to act with him because then he wouldn't have to be worried all day about what's going on. I mean, it was difficult because we're both strong and opinionated, and the trick of it is not to try to be nice and make things go smoothly, because then you're giving less than you would have with a stranger.
Yeah.
And so I think that's true of everybody that's living with somebody that is a professional in any field, you know.
Well, let's talk about James and the Giant Peach. How did this role of Miss Spider come about?
Denise DeNovi produced Little Women, and she called me, and she knew that I loved the book, and my kids had been on the set and everything else, and she said, I have something maybe you'd like to try, and she sent me Nightmare Before Christmas, which I had thought was too scary for my kids to see, and my 2-year-old watched it for the next month solid, just loved it, memorized it, and it was such a talented group of people. It's the same people, and I loved the book, and I'd never done anything like this, and so I said, sure, you know, I'd love to.
Well, let's give people a taste of what this is all about. This is where James and his insect friends discovered that the peach has set sail, then we'll explain it. Okay.
What's fascinating? Tell me, don't leave me dangling.
We are in the middle of the, how do you say, the big puddle.
Biggest puddle in them all, Angel Fangs. The Atlantic Ocean.
Technically, the Pacific is larger.
Well, that goes without saying. But there is land in sight.
Nothing but blue skies and clear waters.
Oh, this is all your fault. Hey, wasn't for me, we'd all be spiked and sponged by now.
This old man with his green things, did he happen to speak to where we are going?
No. All he said.
I thought that was so cute. Now, we should say that this is about James, whose parents die. I wish they wouldn't always make the parents die. But he goes to live with these nasty ants and then discovers these green things. Gene Shalit explained all this, but then a giant peach grows. And then it becomes animated, the film.
As he enters the peach, which is very clever, he changes into a character himself, and then all the little bugs have become huge.
Was it hard for you to do this anime? I mean, you'd never done an animated film
I've
before.
done lots of narration. I've done voices and things. But what's difficult is you don't... With this kind of thing, which takes, I don't know, I think it's a week to get a minute, they kept coming back every few months, and you have no idea what you're contributing to. I mean, even if they explain it, it's not like acting where you say, well, maybe I could pick this up and do that, or how about if I try this or that, because you have no idea where it's leading to.
So it's really exciting to see the finished product.
Which I still haven't completely seen, so I can't wait.
And you got to do it with Richard Dreyfuss now.
No, you're never with
you
any of the
were
other
never with him, or Jane leaves, or any of those people.
You're all separate and kind of on the headset. You know, every few months they come in for a few lines or a song or something like that.
That must be a real challenge. Well, I think the movie is adorable.
It's
James
very
and the Giant
unique.
Peach. It's always great to have you
Thanks so
here, Susan.
much.
Congratulations again on your Oscar.
Thank you.
And my favorite line of Miss Spider is, "Excuse." She says "excuse" all the time. Anyway, it's 8:45, and next, a positive take on growing older with Francis Weaver. But first, this is Today on NBC. Thanks.
Your key to a brand new Ford Ranger truck or $10,000 cash is on WQUT. Listen for details and play Truck Keys or 10G on the Tri-Cities rock and roll tradition. WQUT.
There is nothing like drying your clothes in your own backyard. It's so natural, so real. I wouldn't have it any other way. On the other hand, I recommend you rent to own a washer-dryer as soon as possible. Or sooner. Hurry in for this name brand washer dryer combo. Only $15.99 a week. The lowest rent to own price. Guaranteed. Only at RTO, your Get It Today store.
Visit the Coca-Cola display at your nearest White's and register to win a Sprite NBA Dream Team backboard.
For the perfect spring dinner, try a Swift Hostess canned ham, 4 pounds for $6.99. A delicious accompaniment is White's Deli Potato Salad, home-style or mustard, just 99 cents a pound. The wealth of King Tut can't buy you a richer taste than Nestle's king-size candy bars, 2 for $1.
Heat up the blacktop and cool down with your favorite ice-cold Coca-Cola products from White's.
The William King Regional Art Center in Abingdon, Virginia is proud to announce the original exhibition, American Realist, Winslow Homer, N.C. Wyeth, and Andrew Wyeth. American Realist features Homer's wood engravings depicting scenes of labor and leisure and landscapes and still lifes by the father and son legacy, N.C. and Andrew Wyeth. This original exhibition, featuring the work of 3 of America's greatest 20th century artists, is on display now through April 25th. Admission is free, and the Art Center is open daily except Monday. For more information, call 540-628-5005.
Be showered with thanks and make your mom happy every time you say this phrase.
Think you got it? You are welcome.
Yes, that's it.
Float away on the next Wheel of Fortune.
Weeknights at 7 on WCYB.
This morning in our continuing series that we call Forever Young, A Guide to Life After 50, we want to introduce you to our new senior lifestyles commentator. She's Frances Weaver. You may recall that she was a guest here last month to talk about her book, The Girls with the Grandmother Faces. Well, viewer response was so enthusiastic, we invited her to return on a semi-regular basis. Frances, welcome. Good morning.
Thank you.
Glad you could be with us.
I'm delighted to be here. This is a real surprise to me, and it's a pleasure.
We're going to have some fun. The thing we want to talk about today is how to go about changing your views on aging from negative to positive.
All right.
How did you go about it?
Well, mostly I got to looking at the people who were the examples of the negative and positive side of aging, and figured which ones would be good role models and which ones were just wasting their time watching the soaps and waiting for the kids to call. And those people who were the whiners, who were just sitting around, were doing a lot by themselves, while I looked at the others who had some new interest, something else to say to somebody besides about their bad back and their weak bladder. And so I started thinking, you know, there's a good way to get old, and there's a really kind of rotten way, and I just figured I'd choose the better way as much as I could.
Is that sense of loneliness, which is somewhat understandable, is that something you have to rail against each day? Is it something that has to be defeated each day, or once you get past it, do you put it behind you for keeps?
It can become, like anything else, a habit. You can make a habit of being lonely just by not bothering to call people, not bothering to say hello to your neighbors, not bothering to speak to people in the supermarket, not keeping up your contacts, and then it becomes almost a way of life. The best cure I know for loneliness is to look for someone lonelier than you are. If you're standing there by the kitchen sink thinking, now I'm going to have,
person in the world,
yeah, here I am, and I'm looking out the window, and that's all there is to it. Go to the phone, call somebody who used to live in your neighborhood, somebody who's probably in the same boat you are, and just say, would you like to come over for a piece of chicken or something? It doesn't matter if you do anything very great, but keeping up your contacts and making new contacts, going to the library or to the museum or to some other group of people that you haven't tried before, you might feel a little foolish when you first walk in, but you're going to feel very much welcome very soon, because everyone's looking for more people to take part.
We keep on talking about getting past some of the disadvantages. Do you see any advantages?
Sure I do.
Like?
I see a lot of advantages. In the first place, I have, women over 55 have more discretionary buying power. They're not buying those expensive shoes for kids these days, and they're probably not still paying tuition, although some of us are. But they have more leisure time and more labor-saving devices and more knowledge of the world around them than any group of women in the history of the world ever. And if they're not making use of those facts, then they have better health, better housing. You know, we're living longer, so we better do something about it.
What do you say? Age is really a very minor matter in life, huh?
Yes, yes. Life is more important than the age.
Frances, good to see you. Nice to have you here. We'll be seeing you again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you.
You take care. Travel safely.
I'll do the best I can.
We're going to come on back and take a look at a whole family of birthdays all on one day in April. First, we'll take a break. This is Today on NBC.
Take a tip from Mother Nature and buy your spring plants at Rogers Gardens. Flowering azaleas in bud and bloom, regularly $3.99, now 4 for $10. Blue Pacific or Gold Juniper, regularly $5.99, sale price 4 for $10. Red, white, or pink flowering dogwoods, regularly $29.99, now $24.99. Pink or white weeping cherry trees, regularly $59.99, sale price $49.99. And red sunset maple trees, regularly $99.99, now $79.99. Mother Nature buys her flowers and saves too at Rogers Gardens, Bristol and Kingsport.
The muscle cars from Bill Gatton Chevy GL in Bristol. You don't have to drive a race car for a living to drive a racy car.
They style your hair, deliver your pizza, wait your table, and do it all with a smile. But what would they say if they could?
You want your mother to see the way that you've been acting in this restaurant? Just kidding.
On the next Lisa, service workers get their pet peeves off their chest.
Which way are you doing it so I can do it at home? If you could do it at home, you wouldn't be here.
And share outrageous but true stories.
He gave me the $1,000 tip. They take off their shoes, start clipping their toenails.
Next, Lisa.
Thursday at 11 a.m., only on WCYB.
At 6, she threatened her dad with a butcher knife.
She started getting violent at 2.
Something is driving these kids to rage and violence.
Well, he tells us to hide the knives, hide the swords.
Because I think I'll, kill someone in my sleep.
Compulsive and out of control.
We have to watch him constant.
And your child could have it. Find out what it is next. Sally Jesse Raphael.
Thursday at 10 on WCYB.
Okay, here's one for the books. Last Monday, April 8th, a 49 million to 1 shot came in for the Lamon family. That day, their third daughter was born on the same day of the same month that their first 2 daughters were born. Not only that, but April 8th was Mom's birthday as well. In Napa, California, we welcome David Lamon, his wife Star, and their daughters Jaron, Ashley, and Nicolette. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Was any of this planned?
Oh, no.
We couldn't have done it if it was planned, that's for sure.
All of it totally by accident?
Oh, completely.
Yeah. You won't believe how much of an accident.
None of the pregnancies induced?
Oh, no. They're totally natural. In fact, Nicolette here was 3 weeks early.
Yes, she was due on May 3rd, right?
Right.
So God kind of stepped in and made sure your run continued.
Well, I think she stepped in and didn't want to be left out.
So how do we handle this big birthday in your house, David?
I don't know. Just it's hard to say why it happened. I think there's definitely a meaning to it. That's for sure.
Is it hard to make sure that each of your children have their own identity because so many birthdays coincide, Star?
Yeah, it's hard having one birthday party with a 12-year-old, a 2-year-old, and now the new one. Of course, my friends are totally left out now, you know. But they seem to do okay. We get them their own cakes and let them have their friends. So.
Okay, final question. You have 3 children. Would you like a 4th?
No.
You sure you don't want to think about it, huh?
I just gave birth 2 days ago. What do you think I'm going to say?
David, would you like a 4th?
I'm still thinking about it. Yeah.
Okay.
This is it, definitely.
That's with wife number 2, I believe.
We're busy right now. This is it for a while.
Okay. We did a little math up here. We were figuring out it was some kind of July 4th celebration you have in that household every year, but what the heck?
No, it's a gravitational pull.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right,
David
and Star and Geraldine, Ashley, Nicolette, thank you all very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, take care. Gravitational pull.
They're cute, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, really cute. I think it would be nice. You have one big birthday party, because birthday parties can be a lot of pressure and a lot of work. So you just get it all over with in one day.
Guy. Now he's only got one date to remember. I mean, David's got it made.
That's
just remember
true.
that one date, get it all done.
Doesn't remember what his anniversary is, though.
Might have been April 8th. No, I'm just teasing. that would really be something.
They're cute.
Yeah, it was nice. We got to get on out of here. That about does it for us on a Thursday morning. We'll wrap up the work week tomorrow. We hope we'll see you then. Take care.
Bye-bye.
The big game's all sold out, and my friend with the big TV's out of town. So here I am dropping in on the stadium. Hey, I can see everything. The players, the fans, that giant flagpole. Uh-oh. Get this name brand 25-inch stereo TV for only $10.99 a week, the lowest rent-to-own price, guaranteed. Only at RTO, your Get It Today store.
Holston Valley and Bristol Regional Medical Centers and WCYB5 present the 1996 Tour de Pont. The 1996 Tour de Pont. It's a sports spectacular, and it's coming to our region May 7th and 8th. Sponsored by Holston Valley and Bristol Regional Medical Centers and WCYB5.
On the next Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
An American journalist is fighting for his life in Thailand.
We can't leave him there. He won't survive it.
He went undercover to expose international drug smuggling, but his mission took a terrible turn. Will he ever be able to get back home? And before they were stars, they were...
I was sort of like an office boy in a moisturizing cream factory.
Celebrities' odd jobs.
I'm Deborah Norville. Watch Inside Edition.
Thursday at 5 on WCYB.
Well, good morning. The weekend is almost here, and so is spring again. Sunny and warmer today. Highs in the low 70s and southwest winds about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Fair and mild tonight. Lows in the mid-40s with southwest winds. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy and warm with highs in the mid-70s and southwest breeze about 15 miles an hour. Partly cloudy, mild tomorrow night. Lows down about 50. The extended outlook, partly cloudy Saturday and Sunday, cloudy and cooler Monday with showers Sunday and Monday. Highs will be in the 70s, dropping to the 60s by Monday, and lows in the 50s, dropping to the 40s possibly by Monday. In the news, a new congressman will be taking office in Tennessee this year as longtime First District U.S. Representative Jimmy Quillen of Kingsport announced yesterday that he would not seek re-election. The 80-year-old Quillen has served on Capitol Hill for 34 years, spending a total of 45 years in public service, including his military time. During his time in Congress, Mr. Quillen helped secure funding for many local projects, including the new hospital and other additions to the Mountain Home VA Center in Johnson City, and perhaps his prime achievement, the establishment of the ETSU Med School, which bears his name. He cited some business needs and his wife's health as the reasons that he will be retiring. Well, a hung jury has prolonged a murder case in Gate City, Virginia. After almost a week in the courtroom, the jury could not reach a decision in the case against James Howington of Scott County, who was accused in the stabbing death of Jeff Gibson, also of Scott County. A new trial date has been set for July 24th. And a Johnson City man, 38-year-old Randall Ray, is in custody on charges of aggravated burglary. The arrest stems from the investigation into a burglary at the Economy Inn Motel in Johnson City last week. And job security is prime concern to Bristol, Virginia school teachers as the school board sent out pink slips to mostly non-tenured teachers. The officials say this doesn't mean that the teachers won't be called back after the budget process is done, but officials do say this is the first time in recent memory that tenured teachers will also be included in a downsizing effort. In fact, as many as 48 school teachers in Bristol, Virginia system may be without a job next fall. They said all affected teachers will be notified no later than April 15th.
You're watching WCYB.